Hi, my name is Valerie. Thank you for joining me today. Today I wanted to give an update to our homeschooling for April 2020. It has certainly been an unusual month for us and for everyone because of the COVID-19 closures. We did not finish our co-op. The children were involved in a play, and they have been able to find a place to meet for the play to continue practicing in the hopes that they could either perform it for friends and family, small groups, or maybe film it and put it out in our homeschool group Facebook page or something like that. Because the cast is so small, they've still been able to meet the guidelines of gathering together. So that has been going on. Piano lessons they stopped for half of March and all of April and maybe all of May. I haven't heard yet. So that's kind of an overview of the big picture for everybody. Now I'm going to start with the oldest and go on down the list. So Mitchell is a senior and he has completed his finals in everything except French 2, which he'll probably be finishing in the next couple of weeks. So he's really excited. He's still working full-time at his job at a local coffee shop and loving that. And right now his plan is to continue with that business and see if he can work his way up into management. I don't know what his plans are for the future beyond that. He may decide at some point to go to college. We're just not sure right now, and we're certainly not wanting to force him into any quick decision. We are a Christian family, and so we encourage our children to pray and to seek the Lord, and of course we offer counsel when we can, but we don't know exactly what God wants our kids to do as far as specifics. We know generalities, but so we're just encouraging him to stay faithful to the Lord and to keep working and keep waiting, and God will direct his steps as he goes. So he is really excited. Now, we don't know if his graduation is going to happen, and if it does happen, we figure it will have a lot of restrictions on it, which is disappointing. You know, you put in 13 years of your life into an education, and you come to the end, and you're not able to really have a party. We do plan to do something with our family, but we're just not sure even what that's going to look like yet. So, a lot of variables right now. But everybody can relate to that, no matter whether you homeschool or not. Leslie is in ninth grade, and she has been able to do her Spanish classes through Zoom conferences and meetings. Her last Spanish class is this week. She'll be doing a presentation in Spanish, I believe. I'm not really sure all the details of that, but she's been working very hard on it. It's a PowerPoint presentation, and she's really excited to be getting to do that and to be finishing her first year of Spanish, which when I began our homeschooling year, I didn't know this class would even be available. It's not through our local co-op. It's just a standalone class that a Spanish-speaking lady is teaching, and it's been such a blessing to our family for Leslie to be able to pursue this. She has about 2 weeks left of her subject. She's probably going to be finishing her Apologia Physical Science this week. She's already finished English. She'll be finishing social studies or world geography I think next week or maybe this week, but we're really close to finishing everything up. So April was just plodding. We were just continuing on. Quarantine kept us home a lot more than normal, but we already were a homeschooling family, so we just continued with our normal homeschooling routine. She's almost done with her Algebra 1, which has been difficult. She's really struggled with that at different times, but she's pushed ahead and learned and done really well. Lacey, she's the same boat. She's basically got 2 to 3 weeks left of her subjects. She'll be finishing the Sunlight Science, and I hope to do a review on that when she's finished with it. She has about a week or so left of her English. She's like 3 lessons away from finishing her math. We're done with spelling. We're done with literature. So we're just sort of wrapping things up. It's really been an uneventful month. It's been kind of boring, actually, because we haven't been able to do as much. Matthew is the same as the others. He's finishing up the Knotgrass history, which we've really enjoyed. He's also about 2 weeks away from finishing his math through teaching textbooks. All of the kids did math through teaching textbooks, except Mitchell, who used Abeka for his consumer math. And Matt's been reading on his own the Jim Bridger. It's called Jim Bridger. The actual title is here, Man of the Mountains, and it's been a fun book for him. to read. He really loves cowboys and the Wild West, so this has been right up his alley. So he read that. He finished reading Meet George Washington, a landmark biography, which I don't have to show you, but I believe I mentioned it in my last update video. I'm not sure, but it was a really brief biography, and he loves George Washington, so he read that pretty quickly. He also completed the reading skills book. It's a reading comprehension book, and it really was great. I think he did well with that and enjoyed it. We are also reading together as a read aloud, The League and the Lantern by Brian Wells, and we're about a little over halfway through with it. It is a little above his reading level, even a little bit above his listening level, but not so much that he's not enjoying it. It's probably something I would recommend for maybe 5th or 6th grader, a little bit older than what Matthew is. I mean, he's enjoying it. There are a lot of references to the Avengers and Star Wars and pop culture things that he's familiar with, which has really drawn him into the story and made it very engaging for him. So I recommend this if you have a boy who's kind of reluctant, especially if he's in that upper elementary or lower junior high level. He will really, I think, enjoy this book. It's really been cute and it's quite action-packed. So we've liked that. Because of the quarantine, the kids were supposed to take the Iowa basic test, the standardized test, skills test. But because of the quarantine, that all got canceled. We had other options they tried to give us, but none of it really seemed to fit for our family. So what I ended up doing, I mostly wanted Matthew to have the practice with taking one of those achievement tests. So I ordered from Seton Testing, Seton, Seton Testing, the CAT test, the California Achievement Test. It's a test that you don't have to be a certified teacher to proctor. So I was able to administer that myself for him. I believe it only covers 6 basic areas of language, punctuation, reading comprehension, vocabulary, and there are 2 math tests that he had to take. It doesn't cover all the areas that like the Iowa test would cover, but it was better than nothing. And considering the quarantine, I wanted to do something with him so he would have that experience, especially next year going into public school. I wanted him to be familiar with those tests. I've tried to have my kids be familiar with those tests. You never know what life is going to throw at you. And I've always tried to keep my kids on grade level. I've tried to keep them being experienced with these different tests, even though my state right now does not require these tests for me to give. I do it anyway because I think it's a good practice. They're going to be taking tests like this. If they go to college, they'll be taking the ACT or something similar, or they'll be taking placement tests, and so I want them to be familiar with that mode of testing. So that's what we did this year to kind of prepare him. So anyway, and I wanted to mention an update. I mentioned that we bought him a rocket to launch a rocket because he studied about rockets in one of his science paces through ACE. Well, we, about 2 months ago, or maybe more now, went out into a field, a deserted area, because my husband said, this is going to launch really high. We can't do this near the house. It could land on someone's roof. I never even thought of that. I didn't know what I was buying when I bought it, but it was obviously a quite powerful thing. So we had to go out and try to launch this rocket. Well, it never worked. We worked and worked and worked. We spent an hour. We assembled it before we left the house, and my husband did a lot of that because it's very complicated. Who knew? I didn't know. You probably knew. I didn't know it was going to be so detailed. So he and Matthews assembled it, mostly him. Then we went out and tried to launch it. All of us as a family, we wanted to see it, and we were there about an hour, and we couldn't get it to work. Then my husband came home and worked on it some more and figured out the problem, and we went to Hobby Lobby and bought some more things that we needed to launch it. I forget now what was wrong, but he figured it out, but we haven't had a chance when we're all together to go back out into this field where we can launch it safely. So I will have to keep you updated. Hopefully we can do that soon, or maybe at least over the summer, because we have it assembled, we have it ready to go, and we just haven't been able to get it to work. So I don't know if it's us or if it was something wrong when they manufactured the parts to it. I don't know. But anyway, we did try. Also, all of the children have finished their vocabulary books, 100 words at 4th grade, middle schooler for Lacey, freshman for Leslie, and then senior for Mitchell. And they all have completed those. And so that was fun. It was a kind of a new twist on vocabulary that I was glad we did. It was interesting. So that about wraps up our April. Not a lot to report. We are in the midst right now of installing new carpet in part of our house and turning our schoolroom back into like a living room, a living area. We are trying to prepare for Mitchell's graduation. So we have a few things on the going on right now, and it's been exciting for us. And we have an exciting summer. We're expecting it to be exciting ahead, and I'm looking forward to starting college hopefully in June to do a couple of classes for summer classes. So I'm still waiting to hear what books I need and all of that. So, but the COVID-19 has really held us up from doing a lot of the things that we needed to do. But it's been that way for everybody, and we're just trying to roll with it and adjust. So I hope you're doing well. I hope you enjoyed this little update video. And if you have anything to share with me, I would love to hear from you. So leave a comment for me in the box below. I will link to the California Achievement Test, the Seton testing, in the description box below if you're interested in that option for testing your homeschooler. You don't have to have a college degree to administer the test. It's very affordable. I believe it was $40 for the test, and they score it for you and send you the results. And it's just a really nice option if you can't get somewhere, like in our situation right now, to test your children, but you'd like to have some sort of record for the year. This is an option that you might want to look into. And even if you're not homeschooling, this could be something you could do with your kids, because I'm sure that state tests around the country have been canceled or postponed because of the pandemic. So this might be something you'd want to look into. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you next time.